Every setback is a setup for a comeback. Today, we're going to meet an amazing woman who faced a lot of adversity. She is a professional wrestler, a professional DJ, and so much more. She's basically Superwoman, but I'm going to let her tell you the story. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. We're back. Please give a warm welcome to Christina Sarny, a.k.a. C. Bunny. Awesome. So happy to have you here, C. Bunny.
Thank you so much.
And first of all, I just love your name, and I want to ask you later how we got the name C. Bunny, but I know we connected because I go by LJ, and you go by C. Bunny, and we kind of fell into these new roles with these new names because we kind of wanted to steer away from our past life or experiences. So we created these stage names, to grow into a new person, right?
Absolutely.
And to evolve, and we're new people, and I love it. So I really found that really fun when we met.
Yes.
And I want to kind of just talk a little bit about that, how you became C. Bunny, but starting from the beginning. And I know that looking at you would never know that you had a hearing impairment, right? But you do, and that's kind of helped you grow into the person that you are today. So tell me a little bit about when you found out you had a hearing impairment.
So I grew up in a big family. I have a fraternal twin sister, and when I was around 3, my parents noticed there was a difference in our learning, our behavior, like I wasn't following the rules, listening. So they took me for a checkup, and the doctor gave my parents the diagnosis that I am severely hearing impaired, which was definitely devastating and heartbreaking because, at the time when I was born, we didn't offer tests that could say if you have a hearing loss or not. So it was still kind of new. So from then, I just didn't know what kind of journey I was going to be on after that diagnosis.
Mm-hmm. Wow. And what was that like going to school with being hearing impaired?
It's unbearable. Honestly, I would never go back. So when I was in preschool, I was molested by my teacher. So from the get-go, school had just been an awful experience. Having a disability and growing up, I was either isolated or I was either bullied. I don't know what was worse. Do I want to be known as the hearing impaired girl, or do I want to be invisible? And there was just a lot of challenges that I had to deal with that. And not only did I have to deal with being bullied and isolated and even my teachers making fun of me, but I had to go through the disability itself, not hearing everything correctly, missing out on information. My speech was terrible. I had no social confidence at all. Like, just me looking straight in the eye was a big deal. Like, I would always look down. So I definitely came a long way, but the girl that Christina was in middle school was the girl with glasses, braces. I had wires out of my hearing aid to connect to a microphone that my teacher wore. So I was definitely an outcast.
Right. I know you had mentioned something about being inspired at a young age.
Yes.
That kind of got you into the entertainment industry. Tell us a little bit about that.
So honestly, the first time I ever saw Michael Jackson do Billie Jean, my entire life changed. So since I saw Michael Jackson perform on TV, I watched him do Thriller a million times, and every time the wolf came up, I run out. But I became very infatuated with performing, and the cool part about Michael Jackson was he's just one man, and you would never know that off stage he's so shy, but on stage he's just larger than life. And so that really inspired me to get into dancing and performing, and it's just a great outlet.
What was your first memory of coming into music, and did you play any instruments?
Yeah, so my mother, by the grace of God, was watching TV one day, and Heather Whitestone would crown Miss America, but she was deaf, which was so inspiring, and she was also a dancer, and people asked her, how do you dance if you don't hear the music? And she said, I feel the beat, and it just clicked to my mom, hey, why don't we try you in drum lesson? And I was in 4th grade, and it turned out that I did have a natural knack for it. And my first performance at school was such an eye-opener because it was the first time people saw me as something other than a hearing impaired girl. And I got hooked. And from the drums, it created the foundation for me to get into dancing, because in dancing, the drum beat, the count, I love hip-hop. So I was able to associate every aspect of my performing career, build a foundation for the next.
Wow. Well, I know you do a lot, and I'm really excited to get all that. But do you feel that this was, I know that's amazing, right? So, because this opened a lot of doors for you, but did it come naturally to you? Or what do you feel was a challenge?
It was definitely a challenge to get where I am today because, again, I have a disability. When I'm going to audition every week in New York, I don't know what the choreographer is saying. You know, every verbal cue is saying it's bouncing off the wall with the acoustic, you know, just sitting there nervous trying to hear my number, you know, and it's contradiction. Do I tell them, hey, I have a disability, I just need you to kind of cater to my needs? Or no, I just don't want to seem like I'm a problem to anybody. So it's just very contradicting because, again, I have to go through the disability aspect of it and the social anxiety aspect of it.
Right, and now everyone's wearing masks. And what was truly touching was in an interview with you, you know, we don't experience it or we don't have the disability. We don't see it the same as you. So I remember we were talking and you had brought up how hard this has been for you in the pandemic because everyone has a mask, so you can't read their lips and you can't see their face. And I was truly touched by that because I'm like, oh my God, I didn't think of that. Right? I was like, I did not think of that. So that's why everyone in the audience today is wearing clear masks so you can see and communicate, because honestly, we don't know unless we actually experience it or seen someone go through it. So, you know, I was really touched by that. And I think, you know, you sharing your story and just talking about it, it gives people more awareness that there are other things to be aware of and people are going through things and you're not always going to see a disability. You're not always going to see it. So, you know, I just was really happy that you shared that with me and to make you comfortable on the show too. And, you know, I know this opened a lot of doors for you and you've had some really cool experiences. Why don't you tell us what some of those experiences have been these past few years?
So the last couple of years, you know, I got my big break by dancing with T-Pain. I was able to nail an audition with him, and he decided one day, hey, I want to get street dancers. I want to use real dancers. He didn't want to like go to an agency, so he put up a video saying, hey everybody, send me a freestyle of you dancing to this song, and a freestyle is improv. And, you know, on a whim, I sent it to him, and he ended up picking 20 people throughout the entire country, flew all of us to Miami, which was, you know, it's nerve-wracking, like, and we got to meet him. We danced for an entire day in this really cool garage hip-hop setting, and he said, okay, you guys are going to come back tomorrow. You're going to dance again, but you can't use any of the moves you did the day before. So that was nerve-wracking, because we just utilized all of our creative juices. And then when it came time to the audition, he said, okay, guys, you're going to dance to music you never heard before because it's unreleased. It's my music. I made it. So that already created a challenge. How am I supposed to dance to music that I don't know the words to look up, don't know the beat, the garage, the bounce, in the garage, the sound bouncing everywhere. And he said to us, which really inspired me, he said, I want you guys to step outside the box and create your own box. And I want you to show me who you are. And that really stuck with me. So I was the last one to go up. He actually forgot about me, so I was like, oh, this is not a good sign. And he played some music, and I just started dancing a little bit, and I felt by the grace of God, I need to do this. I need to show him who C Bunny is. So I start freestyling, and I go up to him and the two other judges, and I took my hearing aid, and I took it off, and I put it on the desk before him. And now I have no clue what's going on. And there's a giant speaker. I go to the speaker. I get a count. I get the feel for it. I walk away, not ready yet. I go back. I finally get it. I'm like, God, you and I got this. And I just started dancing, not having any idea what the music is. But everything just clicked. And in the corner of my eyes, I still can't believe it. All the dancers stand up, and this is unheard of because, listen, there's only 2 female spots. You don't want me to take your job, but everybody experienced the magic in that moment of how dance have created such an outlet for us, and that was the dance that I was born for, and I showed them who C Bunny was. And then when it came to the point he had to pick the dancers, he picked the 2 girls, and I was like, all right, you know, that was fine. And all of a sudden, and I actually heard him, he said, yo, C Bunny, get on up here. Wow. He created a spot just for me, and I got to perform with him. So.
Yes. That was good. That's truly amazing. I mean, that's just a way of showing who you are.
Yeah.
You know, that's who you are. You were born to do this. And I know you've done a lot of other things. I mean, that's, yeah.
So good. So the reason why I set up all these, and I'll get into it, that all these other things, the thing that really inspired me to go after all these goals that I had is I want to do everything that I dreamed of being a kid. Because I couldn't do anything in school. Nobody saw me. Nobody wanted to talk to Christina. And so I was just, and also I didn't understand anything that was going on. So I did a lot of daydreaming. And I'm like, you know what? If I did this, people would accept me. If I did this. And so now in my life with my mental health, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do everything I want to do. I was able to be on a show called Live to Dance. I got to dance in front of Paula Abdul.
Yep, and we're going to take a short break, but I do want to go into that you got to dance in front of Paula Abdul. And when we also get back, she's going to tell us about how she won an award-winning documentary. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Hey, it's me, LJ. I'm only 5 feet, but my journey is huge. Right after marrying my sweetheart, my world suddenly collapsed. I endured multiple back surgeries and rare health conditions, and I saved a life in the process by donating my kidney. I hit rock bottom pretty hard, but now I'm on top. Since then, I've become a minister, a coach, and a medium. And oh yeah, I also wrote a book. Now I'm fulfilling my lifelong dream and hosting my very own talk show, The LJ Show. Join me for stories of hope and inspiration.
We're back with C Bunny. I just love that name so much. I think it's so cool. And we left off where you were telling us how you danced in front of Paula Abdul.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
So ironically, and again, every step back is a setup for a comeback.
That's right.
So I was supposed to go on a world tour with T-Pain, and he cut half of us. So, like, what do I do as a dancer? And it's my favorite line from John Travolta, rejection is a hobby. So, like, you know what, let's keep going. And I ended up getting a spot on Live to Dance. I didn't advance to, like, the Las Vegas round, but I got to have my story shared with 3 million people. I got to do the ultimate Michael Jackson strut in front of everybody. It was great. And one of the best things that Paula Abdul said to me, which they didn't show, she said, like, how do you feel you did? And I said, I struggled a little bit with dancing because the sounds were all over the place. And she was the first person to say, hey, next time that happens, you say stop. Because as a person with a disability, it is your right to hear everything. It's not an excuse. And a lot of people say that to me, you're using your hearing impaired as an excuse. But Paula Abdul made me feel, no, it's your right. So that was a very powerful thing. And from being on TV for Live to Dance, I was able to go to schools and show people that clip and show people with disabilities that didn't fit in, like, hey, like, I was where you are. Here's the visual. It doesn't have to be a negative feature. You could twist it and make it a positive thing.
Absolutely, but you didn't just stop at the dance. You became a professional wrestler.
Yeah.
You went on to do bikini competitions. How do you keep up with all of this?
A lot of espresso. I'm Italian.
I hear you. Yeah.
But again, like I said in the beginning, everything built a foundation for the next. So I did the hip hop dancing. And another thing I wanted to tackle on was with the bikini competition. With depression, indulging food. I just never had a good self-appearance attitude. And when I went on stage in a bikini with heels, it's totally opposite what I'd done. As soon as I got off, I'm like, you know what, I'm going to be a wrestler. So now I have the body.
Just going to go and be a wrestler.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Because again, I love wrestling. Similar to Michael Jackson thing, it's still one person that has an altered persona demanding the attention of the room. That's just what's so amazing to me. And it's all body language. Dancing and wrestling, you don't need to hear. I can show you what I'm feeling just by my body movement. And that's a huge thing in the disabled community because we have a conflict of communication issues.
Sure.
Yes.
But you're like, well, nothing's going to get in my way. I'm going to go do this, and this. So, it's absolutely incredible. I feel like, your message to people, too, is you could do anything. There's nothing stopping you. There's no disability. You're just keep going. So I just truly find that admirable. And honestly, then you ended up with an award-winning documentary. How did that happen? And congratulations, by the way.
Thank you so much. Extremely blessed. So at one of my wrestling training, there's by the grace of God, this amazing man, Tom Wilton, walked in, and he was just doing research for his film that he's doing a screenplay on, and he saw me take my hearing aids, and because they throw me around, my hearing aids will go flying out. I have to take my hearing aids, and he saw that. And he like came up to me and we just had a conversation about it. And he's like, hey, I would love to do a story on you. I'm like, all right, cool. Like, I just thought it was going to be like a couple of hours, just filming. No, he went above and beyond, 6 months worth of editing, going to my old middle school, like talking to old people. And we ended up winning 2 film festival awards, including, which is really dear to my heart, most inspirational. And in that film festival, they said, you know what, we didn't even have a category for most inspirational, but after watching this, we needed to make one. I'm very blessed. So I'm hoping as soon as the guidelines allow us to go back into the schools, I want to take this award-winning documentary to all the schools and share my story with them. And but until then, it's available on YouTube, called Being Sea Bunny.
Being Sea Bunny, I love it. I love it. Well, honestly, you deserve it. And just to hear that a spot was opened up just goes to show what a difference you're making. And just thinking about, you know, when you go to these schools and being a speaker also, and inspiring other children that might be going through this and saying, hey, you might have a hearing disability, but look at what you can accomplish. So I think it's absolutely important that that happens. And I know you've accomplished so much already, but what else do you want to do?
Working on being a professional DJ, and I'm currently trying to work on a children's book for to showcase people with disability in a new light. Make it fun, you know, because when you're growing up in school, you're going through all your experiences and learning, but you know, when you look at people with disability, you don't know, and that makes you uncomfortable. So I want to kind of put a new light on that. And it's just the big aspect of what I do is that I didn't have anybody to look up to when I was older. There was nobody that was hearing impaired. And so every time I do something, I do it for that 4th grade girl who has nobody to talk to. And I just want her to watch this and see that, like, it's going to be okay. And if I can just change one kid's life on that, then I fulfilled God's plan. But I know God has a big plan. It's not, and I refuse to limit it with just one kid. But I'm doing it for that girl in school who has nobody to talk to.
I can just say you've already changed so many lives, whether you know it or not, honestly. And that's just so beautiful, and I thank you for sharing that. And what do you have to say to those? I know you talked about being bullying. What would be your message to those people?
I think what they need to know is I don't think you understand the ramification of what you're doing right now. I don't think you're aware, and it's crazy because I don't think we were aware of it at the time too, that when that situation happened, that it was going to be life-altering. And by the grace of God, I'm still here. Like, I know on the Being Sea Bunny is so energetic and having the greatest time of her life, but Christina have battled committed suicide. Had a battle, you know, I was molested when I was in school. I had a battle trauma, post-traumatic stress disorder, you know, and these bullies, they don't understand that what you say to me online or whatever can have a life-altering effect. If you're aware would do that, would you change your action? I think we need to create that kind of awareness, because I don't think they realize the real effect that it has.
I agree. I think they think, okay, maybe for that moment, for that day, for that hour, but they don't realize the repercussion it takes, you know, for years to come. But you showed them, right?
Yes. So it's fun. They actually, every now and then I get a DM from people that didn't think great of me, that bullied me. I had bullies that apologized to me, and my thing is that I'm trying to rewrite my chapter with them. So instead of being like, ha, it's more like, it's okay. And now I can close that chapter on a better tone with them.
Truly amazing. So I know you're gonna close this chapter, and you know, I'm so grateful that you were able to make a few pages in your book for the LJ show.
Yes.
So I just want to thank you so much for being an inspiration, bringing awareness, because I learned so much from you, interviewing you and, just being mindful. So I know you're teaching a lot of people with this episode. So I just want to give you a little something. I know you keep giving and you're so giving. So I just want to present you with a little something.
All right.
So the first thing I want to present you with is this Michael Jackson 3D canvas. I know you're a huge Michael Jackson fan. So you could put it in your studio.
I thought that's going to look great above my DJ board. I love it.
Yes. So the other thing I want to present to you is, I know you're from Jersey, so I'm sure you know where this place is.
Yes!
So
I need to go back to Texas.
So I got you a matching hat.
Yes!
And we also got for you a gift card to Jenks as well, and I look forward to the day that I get to come see you perform there too. So that's for you as well.
Thank you so much.
So I hope you enjoy that.
Yeah,
so when
absolutely.
I had so much fun, so I look forward to coming to hang out at the Jersey Shore with you. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back.
I love it so much.
Hey, it's me, LJ. I'm only 5 feet, but my journey is huge. Right after marrying my sweetheart, my world suddenly collapsed. I endured multiple back surgeries and rare health conditions, and I saved a life in the process by donating my kidney. I hit rock bottom pretty hard, but now I'm on top. Since then, I've become a minister, a coach, and a medium. And oh yeah, I also wrote a book. Now I'm fulfilling my lifelong dream and hosting my very own talk show, The LJ Show. Join me for stories of hope and inspiration.
And now it's time for Ask LJ. That's right. It's time for Ask LJ. Let's see what our audience members and viewers want to know about LJ. Okay. How did you transition from a medium to a talk show host? So that's pretty amazing. I like to say that I do both, so I don't feel that I gave up one to do the other in a sense. I just feel I'm really good at it because all I do is talk since I was little, so I feel like I could talk. So I talk to Spirit, I talk to my viewers, I talk to guests. So I like to say that I could do both, and that's why I created this show, or I should say my team created this show, where I can have a talk show and a mediumship twist, so I can actually have all aspects of myself to the show. So yeah, I'm a medium and a talk show host. Thanks for watching. And now I want to go to one of the favorite parts of the show, which is the mediumship twist part. So I am going to bring through a spirit. So I'm going to just take a second to center myself. And I want to go to a young male. So I do feel he passed before his time. I feel that he was younger when he passed. So I'm going to just continue to work with him. And again, I just keep feeling he was someone who may have been troubled when he was here. I feel he was a good person, a good heart, but I do feel he was troubled when he was here. I do feel connected to this. I do feel he wants to bring me to the connection of March. If you can understand this, raise your hand. So March being significant. And again, I just feel him to be, very young. When he passes away, he didn't get to fulfill his whole life, but I do feel he would have had a family when he was here. So I feel like he would have had a family, but I do know he would have started a family. So I do know we carry on his genes.
Yes.
You would understand this.
Yes.
And this would be a daughter, correct? I do feel that I keep seeing another man in spirit with him as well. This would be his father.
Yes.
Okay, and I do keep wanting to acknowledge, I do see a lot of construction trucks or trucks connected to him. You would understand this.
Yes.
Okay, and I also feel, were they both, because I do keep seeing an ambulance, so I do keep feeling one being brought by ambulance, but I do feel the connection to the both of them both passing very quickly and rapidly.
Yes.
Okay. I do feel that there's a child or a baby or a blessing, but also a baby could signify a new birth, but I'm going to feel it as a child that's coming into the world because now I'm being shown a sonogram. So somebody connected to them would be acknowledging, or someone in the family would be expecting or plan to have a baby. So I maybe just be putting this out there on TV for you to watch as well. And I know that these both would have been very proud Italians. I do keep seeing the connection to the Italian flag, and very proud. Like everyone needed to know we're Italian. Like that's very significant. Like yes. I'm Italian, we're Italian. So I definitely keep feeling that as well. I do feel the younger gentleman. I know that they both pass quickly, but I do feel one passes peacefully. So I do get the connection to that as well. Would you understand this?
Yes.
Okay. I'm just going to keep working just a couple of other aspects as well. But I do get the sense that there were some issues with his health. And I feel like there's some questions around his passing.
Yes.
Okay. But I do feel there is a connection to the heart or something connected with the heart. He makes me feel his heart stops.
Yes.
Okay. And this would have been in his sleep.
Yes.
Okay. Why do I keep also seeing prescription bottles? So was he taking medication at the time?
Yes.
Okay. So I just keep feeling it, and I just kind of feel like, if this makes sense to you, but I just feel like a mixed match. Something just did not agree with that because I do not feel he would have chosen to leave this life at the time that he did.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
So I do want to bring this through. I just keep feeling lots of blessings coming through. So I just want to bring that attention to you, to some type of big news and celebration coming in this month. Okay. But I just wanted to acknowledge that they have their arms around together. So I do feel it would have been a large gap in the time that they would have passed. But I do feel there being a reunion in spirit as well. And then there's an older gentleman as well, too.
Yes.
So there's the young male, the male, and then I feel an older gentleman.
Okay. Yes, my father probably.
Okay. Would the month or birthday, passing anniversary be connected to him this month?
Yes.
Okay, because I just want to acknowledge him too. He's like, "Hello, I'm over here too," but he was pretty like almost like in the standing back. And would the heart be connected to all three?
Yes.
Okay, because I just feel like we all have this in common. All three of us are together. They show me a triangle, so I know that we're all three together. We all had the same health or same connection passing, but I do want to acknowledge that they're all three together right now. And they keep showing me this triangle, and I just keep seeing a beautiful, beautiful rainbow that's just popping out as well, okay? So I just feel like they are going to be sending blessings your way. I do get the connection that we've had a lot of loss or we experienced loss, but they are making me feel more blessings are coming and also family growing as well. So I feel like we've had 3 losses, but I almost feel like you're going to be getting back-to-back blessings is the feeling that they keep coming to me.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
All right, so I'm going to leave them all 3 with you and with love and blessings, and I thank you for being here today.
Thank you, LJ.
Okay, you're welcome. And now it's time for a giveaway with LJ. So I'm really excited to see what some audience members are going to go home with today. All right, we'll start with the big guy first. So what we have here is a beautiful self-care basket. You got a gift certificate for the hair salon. You've got some healthy meals that are going to be delivered to your door and just a lot of overall fun at the spa type of stuff. It's a really awesome basket. And the winner is Sandy. Congratulations, awesome basket. So I want to thank all our viewers for tuning in today, and I hope you were inspired by today's episode and knowing that there is nothing that can get in your way. When you have your mind set to something, go for it. Maybe something doesn't go your way and you get set back, but you know what? Use that as ammunition to go even further. Achieve your dreams, sign up for wrestling school, whatever it is that you want to do. You have dreams, go for it. Don't let anything or anyone get in your way and stop you. I'm LJ, love and blessings. See you next week.